So we are here at the 14th PrintPack India 2019, and we're talking to the president of everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how is the show for you this year?
First of all, team INKISH, and we welcome you. I think that's the fourth time you have been coming to our show. You must be witnessing now. So we are really a warm welcome from all our exhibitors as well as visitors. This edition, we have our exhibitors as well as our visitors are doing really great. The report says we have surpassed all the records in terms of sales, agreements, everything. So we are really happy. The efforts of our team, our governing council members, had been delivered last 3 days, and today, of course, the fourth day, and tomorrow is the last day.
And Sunday evening you had like this huge gala.
Yeah.
That was a nice party.
Exactly.
Was it like 2,000 people there?
Yeah, it was a 2,000 pack.
And you had like, there was like both typical traditional Indian music, and you also had like almost like heavy band.
Exactly. The reason for that is, we have a lot of foreign delegates. Yeah. First time we have received more than 19 international delegates.
Nice.
19 international delegates across the globe. So we wanted to give them that Indian touch. Yeah. We wanted to come. It has started with the traditional, the Ganesha puja. Then before you enter into the hall, it was a Russian music.
That was the two women.
Exactly, two women were standing. Yeah. Exactly. So
they were nice because there was a violin and a saxophone player.
Exactly.
They were playing, I would say, not maybe typical Indian music, but more like music from my part of the world.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So we wanted to give this touch to entire international delegation as well as the domestic delegation.
And I always get surprised because it was like a garden party in a nice place, Stella Gymkhana.
Gymkhana.
And you serve food for all these people, and it was nice food and it was hot food, right?
Oh, thank you so much. So you enjoyed really?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. I thought you should have turned up the temperature a little bit more on the weather.
The weather. Unfortunately, that was the coldest day last 45 days. Yeah, unfortunately.
It's unfair, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that just means that to some extent you can control a lot of things, because I thank you very much for your welcome.
Yeah.
I think that I can tell, we feel really welcome here. We feel that both exhibitors and visitors have been both curious and interested in what we're doing, so that was nice. You gave us a permission to fly with the drone a couple of days ago. I tell you, there was a lot of people just to watch the drone.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the Indian print industry, because that's why we're here.
Exactly. Let me tell you, Mr. Martin, this edition, I'll give you a brief about this edition. We have 507 exhibitors. Exhibitors from across the globe. And according to the reports, till today, we have already crossed more than 69,000 footfall, roughly. And we can able to.
So you will not get your 100,000, 100%, right?
Yeah. See, we are always optimistic.
Okay, that's good.
And we are talking about the unique visitors.
Yeah.
I'm not talking footfall. No. I'm talking about unique visitors.
Yeah.
So obviously, even if I get a 75, 78,000 unique visitor, we are quite happy. Yeah. Quite happy.
I totally understand that.
Quite happy.
But see, I was maybe not phrasing my question correctly, because I know that PrintPack is a success.
Yeah.
I know that you experience a considerable growth from an exhibitor's perspective. And I would like to talk about the exhibition in a moment, but can you tell us a little bit
Indian industry.
Indian industry. So how many printing companies and how many people are working here, and how is the growth or the decrease?
Exactly.
How is it about that?
A very good question. India is one of the biggest world sourcer for the print industry. Unfortunately, Indian print industry is not a organized sector. But according to our surveys and reports, we have more than 250,000 printing presses across the country.
Just amazing.
Exactly. So the growth, last couple of years, we are growing 16, 17, 18%.
I think that some of our European and American viewers right now, they must be so jealous, right?
Exactly. And I've been telling all my friends across the world, the future is India. The future is India, especially the equipment suppliers. Future is India. And our Indian clients, our Indian printers are catering across the globe. Definitely, when you say competition with our neighboring countries, we are little behind in international standards. But last 6 to 7 years, I have seen the dramatic change in our industry.
Is that, when you say the dramatic change, is that also when it comes to both the quality,
Of course,
but also
quality,
to like environmental
investment, environmental, everywhere, everywhere. Now we are talking about eco-friendly print. We are talking about artificial intelligence. So the way world is growing, if you talk about 15 years back, a new technology used to come India after 7-8 years existence. But today, the technology launches across the globe.
That's for
Across
sure.
the globe.
That's for sure.
Let me tell you, I'll give you one small example. When the Apple promotes any product across the globe, there will be a huge queues. India, we don't have any queue.
No.
So what means? We are adopting everything before.
Yeah.
So we are up to the date in the market. So our people are adopting, and we are quite happy that our Indian friends, print friends are really growing, and the numbers of installations of equipment is growing. At the same time, our Indian manufacturers also growing across the globe. As a IPAMA, we are providing across the globe. I'll talk those things and the other things, and especially when you talk about the segment wise. It's very big. Printing is a big segment. Now we have a huge growth in digital segment, and the packaging segment, and the label segment. Label and packaging, we are anticipating the growth of next 5 to 7 years would reach 80 to 85%, wherein at the moment we are 19%.
Oh, that's fantastic.
When you compare with the developed nations like Europe and US.
Yeah.
So we have a huge scope of that 71% of cushion we have.
Yeah. Is all the things that you mention now, is that, one of the questions, I have two things I would like to talk to you about in that perspective, is that one of the things is if you go to, for example, some of the other international exhibitions, you see a decreasing number of visitors, right?
Exactly.
And one of the questions I keep asking the presidents of those events, I mean, if you look at Drupa, it went from 4 times ago, it was like 445,000.
It has reduced half.
270.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an amazing drop, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I was just wondering, is there, in your opinion, and I guess you will say yes, but is there a need for exhibitions?
It's a very good question. In our PrintPack, our growth is regularly there. The reason being is PrintPack is moving with closely associated all segment associations. Now,
so that's why you say, when you say about label and packaging,
exactly,
you see the growth on all segments, and that makes it important to have exhibitions.
PrintPack is a show in the world. You are the best judge for that. You can see corrugation, you can see label, you can see flexible packaging, you can see screen printing, digital, offset, security. PrintPack is only a show. I would not bet anyone, but we are very proud to say that being a machine manufacturers, our members are related to all segments, and now we are in a very closely working with all the different associations. That is the reason every year we are growing, and steady growth.
But see, that is why one of the things I like about coming to PrintPack is, when you go to some shows where they only have like 2 or 3 days, there is limited number of presses being displayed.
Sure, yeah.
And what I like here is you have the Drupa sets, because you have a lot of demos and live equipment and the smell of ink, and you see the substrates and a lot of people interested in new technologies. It must be encouraging for you to see that you are able to make such a nice event, and that you can see that visitors are you taking up your challenge and come and visit you, right? Because you see the growth in number of visitors, you see the growth in number of stalls, you see the number in the entire industry growing. And that leads me to the second question I wanted to talk to you about, is that I can't remember who, but a couple of days ago I was asked, so how do you see the Indian print industry in the next 10 years? And I said, I have no background for saying anything, but I'm just saying that if you take the same trends, if you just say that India is maybe a little behind Europe and the US market, and then you go into the Indian market and look at the future, you will maybe, instead of having 250,000 printing companies, you will have 25,000 printing companies. I know that is not the case, but,
Exactly.
there will be mergers and acquisitions, there will be changes in the market.
Yeah.
Do you think that the society and the printing company owners, and I mean, you have a very family-tight relations to running operations. Do you think those trends that we have seen in the global print industry will be similar here?
Of course, it is already done. Last couple of years, there was a lot of FDIs has been happening in print industry also.
So the trends are already taking place?
Yeah, already taking place. So it's a good sign. Yeah. Well, you asked a really good question. We are like a family business, but people who had a vision, they are changing from that perception to the global session.
And that is like, for example, I visit some of your exhibitors are also printers, print service providers. And when you look at the offerings they're offering, it's sometimes, I know that's a little prejudice on it, but sometimes when you see Indian as a brand, or you look at India, it's like sometimes an equation equals cheap, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have a 1.3 billion population,
yeah.
You have, I think you have an income span that goes from very, very cheap to very, very rich people. But would you say that, because also if you look at China, the development of the domestic market and the domestic economies and the middle class has a huge impact on the entire society. Do you feel that the society and the printing industry here is also moving towards maybe bigger units? And don't take me wrong when I say unprofessional managed, but in my country, it also used to be family-operated companies, but it becomes more like professional company. Yeah, not negatively meant, but managed not from a family perspective, but more from a money perspective.
It is happening. It is happening, and this is the time where you can see a lot of FDIs, a lot of joint ventures. A lot of joint venture is happening now. It's already happening more place, and as our biggest advantage is our population.
Yeah.
So you will never have a problem of manpower, and still we have to go the next level where fully automation is required. Yeah. In printing, yes, I do agree. When you talk about 250,000, the percentage of fully automation is not that up to the mark. But last couple of years, the change what I have seen is phenomenal. Yeah. So we reached to a certain technology earlier 15 years. Yeah. These days we reach in 1 year. Yeah. So that fast mode has come, which is a very good sign for industry. And we are proud to say as association, next 2022, India would be on a top 3. Yeah. India is going to be on a top 3. Yeah. And I am proud to say that, the 1, 2, 3, 4, all are from Asia. Yeah. All are from Asia. Yeah.
So I have to admit that I'm from a small country in Europe, and I will be the loser in the long term, right?
No, it's not the question of whether you lose or we win. I know. It is a part of time.
You appreciate being in the top.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that
I know, I understand.
You cannot be number 1, all of us, right?
Exactly. Every time you can't be number 1. Usain Bolt can't be run all the 1,000 years. Yeah. He has his own life. So the circle will change, a circle called. So the time has come now from this content.
Yeah. One of the things I like about what you're saying is that not only from a domestic perspective, also from a global perspective, Indian industry is now looking outside India as well.
Of course.
Yeah, both from a vendor's perspective, but also from a print service provider's perspective. Yeah. But I also think that one of the changes that have changed a lot in India since Modi became a prime minister is also that you are more open towards investors from the outside, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. When you see, we spoke about just before that Heidelberg is exhibiting here for the first time. Koenig & Bauer is exhibiting for the first time from non-Indian companies. Are you, from the next exhibitions of PrintPack, do you expect more foreign companies to be here?
Sure, definitely. In fact, this year we put a lot of efforts to bring as many as foreign companies. But unfortunately, as we taken a challenge of creating a federation on behalf of IPAMA, I have spent a lot of time on that. Our team has spent. So this year, we are focusing only on international delegation. International delegation, purely on international delegation. And I'm sure we will increase our the numbers as international exhibitors from nowhere to maximum numbers.
Okay. What really has been nice being here is almost every person, people we talk to, are so positive about both the present and the future. So it sounds like that you have, I don't know if it's just because of your market position in general, or it is, or you're fortunate, or you are clever, or it's a mixture of the three. But in your opinion, where do you see the Indian printing industry developing in the nearby future?
That's what, as I said earlier, next
Yeah,
6-7 years,
Yeah.
we are going to do
Sorry, I know you answered that question, but I was thinking, are you moving towards more digital, or is that subsidizing the flexo and the analog market, or is it a growing market on all still?
Yeah, that's what I said. Packaging and label.
Yeah.
We are going to do a much better. If you take Excel ProPack, they are running already in 22 countries across the globe. They have a plant, which is a GTV subsidiary. ZTV subsidiary. So we are expecting a lot of changes in our coming years, especially in packaging side and flexible packaging side.
So INKISH must be back in 2 years' time.
Absolutely, you will be. I really love, and I thank you entire international media and our friends across the association of the country, our Global Print, our Asia Print. So they have all the success won't come from the individual. Success is a team. So I strongly believe, our team strongly believes that this success goes to everyone who has been participated, including INKISH. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
It was nice and fun.